My hair is doing a lot of weird things today. Hi, welcome back to my channel. I'm Colleen Delaney. I'm an author. Let's talk about writing today. I've got my Jane Austen quotes mug that I love, and I'm a person that likes to drink my tea with my tea bag in it, like a weirdo. This is called Stay Well tea, and basically every tea I drink right now is like, stay healthy, stay calm, stay relaxed, try to fall asleep, don't let your stomach hurt, because that is the world that we live in. So today we're going to talk about what I'm writing and what I have been writing. We're having a really fall day today, so I'm sitting someplace that I'm not normally going to sit, which is right next to the window in my living room. So my background is not always going to be this, but when it's really dreary out, it is going to be this, because I get better light over here. All right, so let's talk about what I write, or what I've written lately. So I've mentioned in my intro video, if you watched it, that I have a book, The Hedgewich, coming out in 2024 with City Owl Press. I'm super excited. It's a paranormal romance. It is the first book in a series. The series is going to have 5 books in it. And currently I'm working, or I shouldn't say currently, I did a huge chunk of work on the 3rd book this summer. So the way I write my books is not like, I don't write a book and then edit it and then edit it and then edit it and then it's done. I switch around to different projects. So this summer I mostly worked on the 3rd book, which is about one of the sisters who you meet in the 1st book. I completed my first draft. It turned out to be about 75,000 words, I think. It needs a ton of work, because when I write a first draft, I basically am telling myself the story, and then when I write my 2nd draft, it's very time consuming, because that's when I make sure that my plot arcs work, everything chronologically works, my character arcs work, all that jazz. I finished writing the first draft in, I want to say it was like the beginning of August, and I put it away. And I will not look at it again, and probably until like January or February. I like to give my brain like a big break from it before I go back into it. Since then, I wrote a short novelette, which there's like novel, novella, novelette, short story. I'm not 1,000% sure what this should actually be called, depending on the word count. Right now it's about 12,000 word short story, short novelette. Which translates into about like 55 pages, I believe. And what I'm using that for is when I get my author newsletter set up, which will probably not be until like the end of 2022, the beginning of 2023, to get everyone excited for the Hedgewich. This story will be the freebie you get for signing up for my newsletter. So it is the romance between 2 very minor characters in the series who you will meet later in the series. I haven't even written them yet. I just know they're going to exist. So it's about how they met, and it's super fun. And it takes place in the Pacific Northwest in November. So it's like all the fall vibes, which has been fun to write, because I finished it 2 nights ago. I finished writing it 2 nights ago. So it was fun to write in November to get excited for fall. Think about all the fall food, fall drinks. Now that I finished writing that short story / novelette, I am going to do edits on book 2 of my witch series. So I finished writing that book a long time ago. The first draft was finished December 2019, and then I didn't touch it for a while, and I was working mostly on the 1st book, getting it ready to query it and try to get it published. After I finished the 1st book, I went back and completely rewrote the 2nd book. It got serious rewrites. Huge chunk of the plot changed, the character arc of the hero changed. It went through a lot. So then I put it through a couple more rounds of edits, and then in June I sent it to 2 of my critique partners. Now, if you're a writer, you are going to be very much benefited by having several different groups of people around you who enjoy your writing. The first is critique partners. Critique partners are the people that you can send something to and ask a question like, does this work? Does this scene work? Does this romance work? Does this plot point work? Is this too dark? Is this too light? They're really the people in your life who are other writers and understand the craft of writing and plot beats and all that type of stuff. It's good to have people who write in your same genre. I have critique partners who don't write in my same genre, and I read their stuff which is not in my genre, but you know, if you want someone who can really get down to the nitty-gritty in terms of, is this going to be appropriate for the audience you're writing it for, find someone in your same genre. So at the beginning of the summer, I sent book 2 to 2 of my critique partners who are also romance writers, and they gave me notes back, and the notes are extremely helpful. I do tend to be the type of person that when I get notes back, I read them over, especially because a lot of the notes I get from these 2 friends, like, we're friends, so they're funny, and they'll be like, oh my God, this line is fantastic. And so they're enjoyable and they make me feel good, but they also have some criticism in there that I need to work on. So I read the notes and then I set them aside, finished first draft of book 3, finished this novelette, and now I'm going to go back and go over them. So I will do that over the next probably 3 weeks. I'll go deep into edits, and then I will let it sit for a little while. I'll read it again. I'll give it kind of a light edit that time, and then I will send it to my beta readers. Now, beta readers are another group of people that are fantastic to have. They are not necessarily writers, but they are readers in the genre. So I have a group of about 4, maybe 6, depending on the story. I tend to use the same beta readers sometimes, but then I also try to find 1 or 2 new people every time so that my readers aren't just being nice to me. Because I have published under a pen name, some people, my beta readers know me. They know who I am. They know that the person who is Lucy Hudson is also Colleen Delaney. And if they love me and they want to support me, sometimes you don't get very honest criticism. I'm not saying that I want people to be mean to me, but I do want them to tell me if something isn't working for them. And I have gotten really good criticism from some of my beta readers that I've been able to change stuff in my books. The other project I have for the end of September, rest of October, is getting ready for NaNoWriMo or NaNoWriMo, however you pronounce it. I know it's probably NaNoWriMo, but I've just always called it NaNoWriMo, and I don't know why. Nano, we'll call it Nano, National Novel Writing Month, which is November. I've done it before. I'm going to do it this year, but I find personally, I can only do it if I go in with a very strong outline, because I'm not a great person when it just comes to like letting the plot come together. And the last time I wrote one of these without an outline, doing my second draft was an absolute nightmare. So my plan during October is to thoroughly outline the project I'm going to work on. I'm pretty certain I know which project I'm going to work on. I have a couple in the running. I'm not working on one of my witch books because those are at the point where I need to be very precise when I'm writing them because there's such a big world involved, and Nano is a little bit more of a frenzied write, so I wouldn't recommend writing something that has a huge amount of world building during Nano. So most likely I'm going to write this contemporary, angsty, yet cottagecore romance that I've had kind of bouncing around in my head for about 6 months. I have most of the outline done already, but I need to definitely tweak it and go over it. Another thing I'd really recommend for when you're doing Nano is to give yourself a list of names for minor characters that would fit in the world you're building. So you're not pausing because you're introducing a random restaurant owner who's a very minor character but needs a name. Just have a spreadsheet of names available to you so you can just pop in and grab one and pop out. It makes life so much easier. I made a spreadsheet like this for just contemporary names and I've used it. I made it probably in 2018 and I use it still all the time. It's fantastic. Just like trying to remember, you don't want to call like 6 guys Dave who are minor characters in your book, and then you go through, and I actually did this recently in my first draft of book 3 in the Witch series that I wrote this summer. I did like a quick scan and realized I had named 2 minor characters Mike, And there's a Mike in the series already in book 1, and he's gonna come back later. And I can't believe I did that, but you know, I wasn't being smart about my minor characters. Yeah, so I'm going to be outlining for my Nano project, most likely the cottagecore romance. There's a really, really, really small chance I might write a dark academia fantasy, but I think there's too much world building in that for me to successfully do it for Nano. So let me know in the comments if you're doing Nano. I am definitely going to be posting a ton of Write With Me videos during the month of November, where we can all just sit down for like 30-ish minutes and bang out some words. During Nano, to stay on track for the 50,000 word goal, you have to write, I think it's 1,667 words a day. So that's if you write every single day for the entire month of November. And now if you're American, there's Thanksgiving in November. And if you're me, there's your twins' birthdays in November. So November's not a month for me that I can write every single day. So I do tend to like to just have some weekend days where maybe my husband will take the kids to his dad's house and I have 4 hours alone and I can get like 4,000 plus words done. So hopefully I'll get a couple of those things on the weekend. I hope you are having a great day. Let me know in the comments if you are a planner or a pantser. Are you gonna go into Nano and just be like, let's see what happens? I have a first line, because if you are, I commend you. That terrifies me. I feel like I would write 1 page and be like, oh, that's the end of that. If you're having a cozy day today like I am, I hope you get some writing or some reading done, and I'll see you soon. Bye.